Bats never asked us to eat them, so let's not blame them for Covid-19. Instead, let's make them some cosy homes. A bat box is really just 2 bits of lumber, spaced enough for a bat to be able to crawl in, and then with a lid on top to stop the rain coming in. Now I'm sure with a hammer and nails and maybe even a saw you'd quickly be able to knock that up yourself, but this is woe made odd, and our bat box has got to be a little bit different. Bats really don't like drafts, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rebate on the insides where this batten will go, and that's going to greatly reduce the amount of draft. And instead of having a little lid that slopes forwards, we're going to do it sideways, just to make it look a bit different too. It's a fairly simple project, but I'm going to put some plans up on the website as soon as I can, and they'll give you an idea of the dimensions. First step is to clean up the edges of the boards and to make sure the widths are the same. And that'll be fine. Now you'll see where these boards are going together, there's a slight gap, but it's only very minimal, and once we've rebated the spacer in, there won't be any room for drafts to get through. So the next step will be to rebate. I'm keeping the fence of the plane tight against the side of the work, because these boards I'm using are from weatherboarding, so they've got a slight angle to them, but I want to make sure that the spacers go in nice and parallel. So I'm holding the fence tight up against the work, and that way I cut in to the middle of the board first this side, and on where the angle runs the other way I'll be cutting on the outside first. Now I should be planing the other way, but that requires resetting up the rebate plane, so I'm going to try it in this direction, see how we get on. And it's digging in a little bit, and we're getting a little bit of tear out, but that won't matter. Now I'm just going to deepen some of the grooves at the bottom exposed area where the bat will initially land, just to make it a little bit easier for them. I'll just give a little more purchase when they come in. I've marked a slope for the roof so that we get the water to run off, and I'm just cross-cutting it now through both pieces. When the box is glued together, we'll plane it nice and smooth. Now I can cut the spacers to length. As you can see, that gives us a nice tight fit and will stop any drafts coming in. The next thing to do is to glue these up. Make sure you use an exterior grade glue. Because I'm using rough sawn lumber, I'll need to just flatten and smooth the surface that's going to be the roof, so that we get a good draft-free connection to the rest of the box. And I'll also square up the edges. A couple of bevels on the top edges won't do any harm. With a little infill completed, I can now glue that in and glue the top on. Put a little bit of glue onto the end grain here and let that set before I then apply the top. That will hopefully get a better bond. Now I don't want the glue to form a rough surface, so I'm just going to wipe off the excess, or at least wipe it smooth with a paper towel. Leave that for about half an hour and then I can glue the roof on. I've clamped a couple of offset laths at the back to give me a small overlap of the roof, and I can just put the roof up against that and drop it on. I'm going to set it a little bit offset on here so that there's a much bigger overlap at the end that the drips are going to come off the roof. A little bit of improvisation here, a lath and a spacer to stop the roof sliding off on all that glue, and then just pop a weight on top and leave that overnight. With the roof on, the bat box is complete, providing a draft-free environment for those lovely furry friends that fly in the air.